Okay, this is the power crossover cut. This is I think it's a very fundamental movement in all of our agility to put us in a safe position, to make a cut, and to put us in a beneficial position to accelerate out of it and be more efficient with our movements, especially when we come in and out of our cuts. When we do this, first thing we're going to do is from a standstill. So I'm going to balance on my right leg. My left leg is going to be my cut leg. I could be by a line. All I'm going to do is step, turn my hips, land left, right. When I land, I want to make sure my feet are on the same plane, or that my back foot is in front of my front foot. Okay, my right leg here is my back leg. But again, I want weight on the inside. As you do this, you can, and I'll go through the progression, but you can start turning your hips more. So you land like this. Weight on the inside. The biggest reason why we want our feet on the same plane or open up in back is because if your back leg is behind your front leg, you have two choices when you make your cut. You either drop step with your inside foot to clear your hips so that your back leg come through. So again, you're taking a step and you're not going anywhere. Or if I'm closing myself off, then I have to take a lateral step, and I've just cut my distance down from, let's say, 5 yards to 7 yards, so I can get back on track. Again, we're covering more distance than we need to. We're always trying to be efficient with our movement. So again, from a standstill, you're on your right leg, left foot up in the air, you're step, step, always checking, weight on the inside leg, feet on the same plane. If you notice my feet are cocked at an angle here, if I do that, if I throw my hips around so I'm in that position, they should be the same angle. Okay, some of the athletes, one of the mistakes a lot of athletes make, they'll get their hips around so their lead leg will be cocked here, then their back leg will be straight. Okay, if you get your hips around and your lead leg is at an angle, that's fine, but that back leg needs to be at that same angle. And again, this is something, every time you're doing this, you want to self-correct yourself and create those good habits to be efficient. So, right leg on the ground, left leg up in the air. I'm left, right, check to make sure my feet are on the same plane. Weight on the inside. Again, the advantage of doing that power crossover cut instead of a jump stop is my weight is all my lead leg, so now I'm able to drive off and cover ground. So, once I do that, my left leg's in the air. I know I'm going to leave on my right leg, so I'm going to back up a couple steps. Again, I'm using the line as a reference point. I don't have to touch it exactly. I'm just going to use it in that. I'm going to make my cut in that area. So I'm going to walk. Again, always knowing on this cut, I'm going to leave off my right foot, land on my left. So I'm going to just go left, right, left, right. Again, making sure weight on the inside, feet on the same plane or open, so I can come out of it. I just want to pause every time I stick to it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through each one of these 5 or 6 times each way. So again, I know I'm leaving off my right leg, landing on my left. So left, right, right. Weight on the inside, feet on the same plane or open up. And you'll notice my feet ended up pointing at an angle. I'm throwing my hips back. Okay, ideally, you're doing a little bit of both, and you can control that by how far you throw your hips. So left, right. Okay, now I'm parallel here. My feet are on the same plane, facing the same way, so I can come out of that. If I really want to get around, once you're good at this, if you start doing some of the sprints with the cuts, my good athletes, and my kids who've been with me for a while, or who practice this, they'll get their hips all the way around, so they're here. They know they're coming to a cut, so they're square here. They don't have to take any time changing their body around. They can accelerate right out of there. So once I've done that 5 or 6 times with the walking, I'm going to jog into it. Again, I know I have to leave my right foot to touch left, right. So I'm going to jog in this. And even here, I'm going to pause every time, making sure weight on the inside leg, feet on the same plane, feet at the same angle. Then I'll walk out of it. Again, 5 or 6 times, jogging into it. And I'm always sticking this point, making sure my feet, again, feet at the same angle, open up, we're on the same plane, or open, and then weight always on the inside leg. Then once I get into this, I'm gonna run faster. Focus on sticking that weight to the inside. Again, making sure everything is the same. And then I'm not gonna do it here, but it'll be the sprint into it. Okay, once you start getting into the sprint, to completely stop all that momentum takes a lot. Okay, so as you add speed into a cut, you need to have that counter balance, because you have so many forces taking you one way. So you're gonna lean further into it. So some of my kids if we're doing 3, 4, 5 yard speed cuts on a line, some of those kids are gonna end up making their cut here, with their weights on the inside and coming out of it. That's 100% okay. The biggest thing we want is that weight on the inside. So again, your rule of thumb, you're doing your power crossovers, is the same foot will never touch down twice. Most of you are used to a jump stop where you're left, left, right. Okay? In a power crossover cut, it never happens. It's always right, left, right. Or obviously, going the other way, it'll be left, right, left. But again, my ability here to put myself in that position revolves around focusing on your hips and how far to get them around. If you want to get all the way around so you're facing the opposite way, think about throwing that back hip or your butt. Think about throwing that around. So again, you're twisting your butt around, but your weight never leaves the inside. It's always on your inside leg, so you can accelerate out of it. Again, this is something that we do it early in the summer. We do it the first week every summer with kids who have been here. It's their first week, or they've been here for 10 years. It's always something we do. I find it very important to be efficient with our movements. That's our power crossover.